Vian, I'd like to talk about what happened on Saturday here in Bengaluru. You opened your performance in Bengaluru with the song Navarasam. Was it intentional? Was it to convey a message? What really happened? What was the intention behind it?
So we have been starting the show, opening the show with Navrasam for a long time. So it's not like we did it just after this controversy or nothing like that. Navrasam has been one of the most important tracks, and it's a perfect opening track for a concert, for a show. So we've been doing that. It's just that the entire vibe and the intensity now, after the controversy, has changed. So the way that people look and listen to the song has been quite different from how it was before. So that's the only difference. Or else Navrasam has been the first song, the opening track. Yeah.
Uh, Vian, we've heard Navarasam as well as Varaha Rupam. Uh, as a band member, somebody who's created the music, do you think that Varaha Rupam is completely plagiarized or is part of the song plagiarized from Navrasam?
First of all, there's a lot of confusion happening when there are two parties online who are arguing like, hey, nahi hai, like it is similar, it is not similar. All of that is happening. But what people need to understand is, first of all, plagiarism is not only uh, about the notes or the melody, because that is what everybody is focusing about. But it is also got to do with the concept and the idea. Here, what has happened is if you go from part to part, it's got to do mainly with the arrangement, the riffs, then the style, the instruments that have been used, and the overall feel of the song. So, if it was maybe just like a small little part that is sounding similar, it's okay. That happens in music. We all are inspired from different artists, and that flavor is always seen. And it's not a new thing. Like all the artists are very familiar about this thing. But here, what is happening is it's very clear, right from the solo, right from the rhythm pattern, the arrangement, the feel, the treatment of the song. And that is what we are talking about over here. So a lot of videos are being made on how the ragam is different, how the notes are different, how the melodies are different. They're giving tutorials over the whole thing, but that's not what it is all about. You need to go deeper, you need to understand what it is more.
Uh, Vian, Kantara released on September 30th, and it took you guys quite a few weeks for you to, file a case, and you filed a case a few weeks later. Was it because you guys got to know about it much later, or did you guys think about it, and or did the success of Kantara force you to go ahead and say, no, let's go ahead and fight it out legally? What really transpired there?
So what happened is, first of all, we are super busy doing concerts. After the lockdown, we have been packed, so it's been a lot of travel, back-to-back shows, on the top working on our projects and all. We definitely do not have the time to go to the theater and watch the movie. So we got to know from the fans, from the other listeners and the viewers that okay, so a lot of people first of all thought that the music is by Thaikkudam Bridge when they went for the movie. And that was the reason why they started commenting on the Navrasam video on our YouTube channel. And that's when we first got to know that, okay, something like this is happening. Still, we were busy with our work and all when there were so many messages, calls, and comments flooding in. Then we looked into it. Even after we found similarities, we as musicians took time to understand another musician, to understand the place where it came from, to understand the story, what was happening behind the scene. Then we got to know certain things from the inside, and only after that we took the decision. I know that a lot of people are saying that, oh, why did you wait all this while? Just when the movie got famous, now you want money, now you want fame, you want attention. Thaikudam Bridge had that all this while. We don't need that extra attention or that extra money, or it's not about money. We are talking about credits. Money part has been talking, that's something to do with Mathrubhumi because they hold the rights to the
Mhm.
song.
Mhm.
The band is asking on the creative side. So it's a different story that has been going around online of why did you wait all this while just to capitalize on when the movie made it big and all. No, it's not that. It's about like if my brother has done something, I first need to take out that time because he's my brother to understand his side. So, as musicians, that is what we were doing to understand that side. There was a conversation between the music director and Govind. Only after some things that we were confirmed about, we knew about from the inside, that's when we decided to take this step.
I'm sorry for my ignorance. Could you elaborate as to who Govind is?
Govind is the music director, and he plays the violin and also the vocalist of the band. So he
Okay.
also does. He's the music director for the movie '96. So he understands how the movie scene works. You know how the music director has certain requirements, certain flavors that he needs in a particular song, and a music director has to go with the film director, like hand in hand. So it's not that music director always has the freedom of what he wants to do, and he has to go by the script, by the feel of the movie, and all of that. So that was the conversation, and we know what is the story behind all of it. So we were very sure about what we need to do after that.
Okay, so now the reason I ask you this question is, okay, there are a lot of people. I'll get to that much later as to who's mentioning and who's saying what. But there are a lot of people felt that as musicians, you could have approached the makers of Kantara and sorted this issue out instead of taking the legal course. But now you just mentioned to me that Govind, who's one of the band members as well as a music director, spoke to the team at Kantara. Was it Ajaneesh Loknath or whom did he get in touch with? So this is new to me. Could you tell me more about it?
Yeah. So it's not that we got in touch with them, they got in touch with us. So they knew that something was happening. Okay. They knew that the whole conversation was more about, that Navrasam definitely was the track that was used as um, for how do you put it across? Reference. It was the reference track for the movie. The director was very clear that he wanted something that sounded like Navrasam. What they did over here is they made it sound almost like Navrasam, not like Navrasam. So that is the thing. So we were in talking terms with the legal team and Mathrubhumi and all of it when we got to know about this. And it's not that we did not take our time to understand their side and what is the real story and all of those things. So when they had a conversation, it was very clear, and that's when we knew that we had to take a step. But we took our time. It's not that we jumped to a conclusion that, oh, they did this, let us put a case against them. No, that's not how it works. First of all, for an independent band and for such a big production house, this it's not that easy for us to do it. So we had to understand what are going to be the consequences, how are we going to fight this, and what is the main objective behind it. So people are only talking about who are defending Kantara, they're talking about money, they're talking about fame. But there is more to this side about an independent band voicing out, which has not happened before.